Welcome to Flower Care, a cozy corner where every orchid tells its own story. Here, we share not only the joy of watching our small orchid gardens grow, but also the little tips, heartfelt experiences, and gentle lessons that come with caring for these elegant blooms. Your lush green orchid suddenly wilts and its leaves rot. Don't worry, I'll show you how to save your plant at home, simply and effectively. The leaves that were once green and fresh now become withered, shriveled, as if they have lost all vitality. That is a sign that your orchid is crying for help. When encountering such a situation, the first thing you need to do is quickly remove the rotten leaves. Usually the cause comes from fungal diseases or insect attacks. If left for a long time, it will spread to other healthy parts of the orchid. In this part of the orchid stem, the insect has attacked and eaten deep inside, causing severe tissue damage and turning it black. I use a pair of sharp, clean scissors to cut the top off the stem. This helps to completely remove the tissue that has been damaged by insects and fungi, while also leaving the healthy top and stem intact to give them a chance to recover. For leaves that are only half rotten like this, I use a sharp, sterilized knife to cut away the entire damaged area. When cutting, I need to go a little deeper into the healthy leaf tissue to ensure that the diseased area is completely removed and not give the insects a chance to spread. At first I thought I could keep this leaf, but upon closer inspection I saw that there were many black mold spots inside. So I decided to remove the leaf completely to avoid the risk of spreading to other parts of the orchid. At the top, there was still a section of the stem that was infected with black fungus. To ensure the safety of the tree, I continued to cut off this diseased part, keeping only the truly healthy tissue. The lower stem is no exception. The sections that have been attacked by fungus need to be completely cut off. Only when the diseased tissue is completely removed will the orchid have a chance to recover healthily. After removing all the diseased parts, I clean the entire orchid tip with clean water. Using clean water helps remove fungal residues, bacteria, insects, and dirt on the surface. At the same time, this cleaning creates conditions for the cuts to be airy, dry faster, and easily absorb the following solutions. Thanks to that, the orchid has a better foundation for recovery. Next, I use a soft, clean towel to dry all the remaining water droplets on the orchid tip. This step helps the cut to quickly shrink, limiting prolonged wetness, which is a favorable condition for fungal diseases to recur. To disinfect the orchid after pruning, I use cinnamon powder. This is a natural ingredient with strong antifungal and antibacterial properties, helping the cut dry quickly, avoiding reinfection. I use about a teaspoon of cinnamon powder to make a disinfectant solution and treat cuts on orchids. Then, I added about 500 milliliters of hot water to the cinnamon powder. Hot water will help the antibacterial active ingredients in cinnamon dissolve and have a stronger effect when used to disinfect orchids. Cover tightly and let it sit for 30 minutes before use. After about 30 minutes, the antifungal and antibacterial nutrients in cinnamon powder have completely dissolved into the water. At this point, we filter out the residue, keeping only the clear solution for use, which is both convenient and safe for orchids. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss any useful videos for your orchid garden. It's great to have you along on the journey. Immediately after filtering, I use this cinnamon powder solution directly to care for the orchid. This is when the solution still retains its strongest activity, helping to disinfect wounds, prevent fungal diseases, and support the plant to recover quickly. I used a soft cotton ball soaked in cinnamon powder solution, then gently wiped it evenly over the entire orchid tip. This method helps the solution penetrate directly into the cuts, while creating a natural antibacterial layer covering it, preventing the fungus from returning. For the lower part of the stem, I do the same as the plant. This helps to thoroughly disinfect, limit the remaining pathogens, and create conditions for the orchid stem to recover healthily. Next, I use aloe vera, naturally fermented aloe vera. This is the preparation I prepared 3 months ago. Now it has reached the complete fermentation stage and is ready to use for orchid care. I use about 30 milliliters of fermented aloe vera which is just enough to provide nutrients and antibacterial properties to the orchid without causing excess. I mix fermented aloe vera with cinnamon powder solution to both disinfect and add nutrients to the orchid. Then I stir well and let it rest for 15 minutes before using it for the orchid. After 15 minutes, the chemicals in the mixture have stabilized. This is the right time to use it to care for orchids. After 15 minutes, the chemicals in the mixture have stabilized. This is the right time to use it to care for orchids. I also use this nutrient mixture to care for the lower part of the orchid plant. Use a soft cotton pad soaked in the nutrient. Then wipe evenly on both sides of the leaves and cuts of the orchid. This wiping helps the leaves absorb nutrients better, while removing dirt and pathogens on the surface, thereby increasing photosynthesis and helping the plant recover more quickly. Next, I poured the nutrients into the spray bottle and sprayed evenly over the entire orchid plant. This method helps the solution penetrate evenly into the leaves, stems, and roots, providing comprehensive recovery. Next step, I use this nutrient to water directly into the roots and substrate. Thanks to that, the orchid is not only sterilized on the outside, but also absorbs nutrients from the inside, helping to recover strongly and stimulate new roots. After that, I continue to soak the orchid substrate in this solution to make the most of the nutrients, helping the growing environment to be disease-free and more nutritious. After about 20 minutes of soaking, I lifted the orchid out to continue with the next care steps. After 25 minutes, we also proceed to lift the orchid tip out. Then I continued to use the leaf wiping method to care for the orchid tip to help the orchid tip absorb maximum nutrients. Please leave a comment to let me know what country you are from. It's great that we can connect and chat together around the world. Before taking the orchid to nursery, I use cinnamon powder to apply on all the wounds. Cinnamon powder will help disinfect, dry the cut quickly, and prevent fungus from re-entering. After disinfecting the lower part of the tree, we will place it in a well-ventilated place with soft light so that the tree can gradually recover. Tools for growing plants. I use a plastic cup as a pot and add another plastic cup as a lid on top with small holes designed to create ventilation. In addition, I prepare a piece of floral foam. This will be a temporary substrate to keep the orchid's base moist and secure during the incubation process. Regarding irrigation water, I use bottled water to ensure purity, avoiding impurities, chlorine, or harmful microorganisms commonly found in tap water. Next, we place the orchid into the nursery pot. When adding water, just pour it to the foam surface. Do not add too much. When the water dries out, add more. This method helps to keep the soil moist enough, avoiding waterlogging that causes the orchid to rot. Covering the pot helps maintain stable humidity, prevents fungi and insects, while still ensuring ventilation for the plant. I use additional clips to secure the lid, making the nursery pot sturdy and maintaining a stable environment for the orchids. Then, place the orchid pot in a cool, lightly lit place so that the plant can recover and grow easily. I use the remaining nutrients to care for other orchid pots in the garden, both saving money and helping the entire orchid garden benefit. I continue to apply the method of wiping leaves with nutrients to care for orchids. Fermented aloe vera contains many enzymes, organic acids, and easily absorbed minerals, helping orchid leaves recover quickly, increase resistance, and promote photosynthesis. Meanwhile, cinnamon powder has strong antibacterial and antifungal properties, creating a natural protective layer on the leaf surface, preventing the invasion of pathogens. This combination not only helps the leaves stay green and supple, but also contributes to nourishing the whole plant from the outside in. The remaining nutrients I use to water directly on the roots and growing medium. Watering nutrients directly on the roots and growing medium helps provide nutrients directly to the roots, where the orchid absorbs most of the essential minerals. At the same time, this solution is also antibacterial and antifungal, helping to keep the environment around the roots clean, limiting the spread of pathogens. Then we lift the tree out and put it back into the ideal environment in the garden for the tree to continue growing. This is my result after 1 month of persistent care. From a weak orchid, the plant has now completely revived. Many young roots have sprouted, large and strong. The cuts have healed. The leaves are lush and green. The entire orchid exudes a strong vitality, proving the effectiveness of the persistent care process. On the mother plant, a new shoot has sprouted to replace the previously cut tip. The shoot looks very healthy, resilient, and full of life, promising a fully developed orchid in the near future. Looking at the roots, the young roots are growing green all around the substrate, healthy and soft. Meanwhile, the old roots are dark green, strong, deep into the substrate to absorb maximum nutrients, creating a solid foundation for the orchid to develop comprehensively. Next, I planted the orchid shoots in a new substrate, giving the plant more space to grow, allowing the roots to adhere more firmly and absorb nutrients more effectively. Regarding the growing medium, I use sterilized pine bark to help the orchid roots adhere firmly, provide ventilation, and limit the risk of fungal infection. Next, I spread a layer of moss on the surface of the substrate, helping the young roots have a place to cling and develop smoothly, while keeping the orchid tips moist. After placing the orchid in the substrate, I add a thin layer of moss on top. This moss layer helps retain moisture, protect the young roots, and create a favorable environment for the plant to grow. Before bringing the orchid into the natural environment, I lightly mist the entire plant to keep it moist, helping the roots and leaves adapt better to outdoor conditions. Then we place the new orchid in a cool place, with light and good air circulation so that the roots can quickly adapt and grow healthily. Hopefully, with perseverance and proper care, you will have more healthy and blooming orchids in your small garden. If you find the video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that I have more motivation to share more good techniques on growing and caring for orchids. Goodbye and see you in the next videos.